Hey guys, this is Zach from the Ohio Guys here in Matsuyakon at Columbus, Ohio, and standing to my left is a very beautiful Lisle Wilkerson.
Hello.
How are you doing today?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing very good. So, what can you tell me about what's it like working in the industry today?
That's a very good question. I mean, it's a very different animal from when I first started, because I started off in radio at 19, and at that time I think radio still had much more of a presence. It was before iTunes came around, it's before iPods and iPhones and what have you, and really even before internet was like really used that much. Makes me sound very old, but yeah, now I think that there are a lot more opportunities in many ways. But then of course there's also a lot of, as I'm sure you guys already know, like a lot of bootlegging and a lot of stuff that goes on like that. But you know, good with the bad, you take it as it comes. But I think it's a good time right now in entertainment and in anime and all the arts. I think there are a lot of opportunities.
Well, personally, I don't bootleg anything. Everything I own, I buy. So
good boy.
I like to support the industries.
Good boy.
All right. So, what's your favorite video game that you've worked on?
Tekken.
Tekken?
Yeah, personal favorite. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, but I have to say, I have worked on, I'm very blessed in that there's nothing that I have worked on that I didn't enjoy working on. Crazy Taxi was super awesome. And with Crazy Taxi, Crazy Taxi 1, I did all the characters. For the female characters, it was kind of crazy. I just showed up in the studio and they're like, "Oh, Lisle-san, you do all female characters." I'm like, "Really? You couldn't have told me this ahead of time?"
Well.
You know? And also with Shamu, I worked with a lot of people that I know very well in the industry in Japan, and they're all kind of personal and special to me in some kind of way. So, but Tekken's my favorite.
I remember playing Tekken a lot growing up too.
Good.
So, what was it? Can you tell us a little bit, like, what was it like living in Japan?
It's interesting because I find that Japan and the U.S., or the Western culture, the more I spend time here, the more I realize how very different the cultures are. On the outside, you see some of the same modernism that you see here and everything, but Japan is very conservative in so many different ways, and then yet not in some ways that America, I find, a little bit conservative, So I think that the cultures are very different. I mean, for me, I love the fact that I grew up in a different culture. I think it kind of gives me a different experience than a lot of people, and I'm very, very fortunate for that. Yeah, so it was wonderful. I mean, I love it. It's my home.
Well, I know I'm personally wanting, hopefully in the next 10 years or so, I want to go to Japan.
You should
just
go.
Visit for a while.
Yes.
Okay, so if you could be any video game character in real life, who would you be? And you can mix and match qualities from any of them. Like one super awesome person.
Well, I am the super awesome.
Indeed.
But I would have to say Nina. I really like her because I feel that I like all my female fighting characters. So I love Sarah, I love Zafina, I love Christy. However, I just find Nina to be very human in many ways, and I think they all are, but I think that because she's this stone cold kind of assassin, and she's kick-ass, and she's a very powerful fighter, but at the same time, she has a very complicated relationship with her sister, and I find some elements almost kind of, she has a sadness about her, and I like that very complicated backstory with Nina, and I kind of like that, and it makes it very interesting for me to play her. So I love Nina, and of course she's hot. She always looks great,
Yeah.
And she's like tumbling over on the ground and everything, but her clothes never get dirty. Go figure, She's wearing like this purple camouflage kick-ass pantsuit, cat suit, So, yeah, no, I say Nina.
That's pretty cool. So is there anything in the works that you could talk about that's coming out? And if you can't, we perfectly understand.
Yes, I am currently working on a movie. I am an associate producer for a film that we're currently still working financing out on it, and I'll be able to talk a little bit more about later, but it is in the otaku slash anime genre, and it has 10 minutes of anime. The rest is live action. It's going to be a very, very, very good film. It's called Black Cat. And we actually have a Facebook page, so you can look it up. But we've got some great people that are cast and are going to be part of the movie. And the story is something I really believe in, and I think it'll do really well. So that we'll probably be filming it maybe early next year. We're not quite sure yet, but I'll be working on that. As far as voiceover work, there's nothing right now that I can talk about.
Okay.
But I also am going to be involved in a upcoming TV show that will be geared towards otaku and towards the anime and video gaming industry. I'm working with a Japanese company, and I can't really go into much about that either, but it will probably be a twice a month show that we'll be doing, and I will be directing that. So yeah, so there are some things in the works. But
just not allowed to talk about them just yet.
I'm not allowed to talk about. I will once I can. I will talk about on Facebook, and I'll talk about on Twitter or my email or my website, and so you can find out. And I'm going to start doing a podcast called Memoirs of a 6 Feet Blonde Geisha, kind of talking about my experiences in Japan. And also getting feedback from people, like if they want to ask questions, about living in Japan or anything having to do with Japan, Japanese culture. Give them kind of a vehicle where they can reach me and kind of ask me questions.
Sounds pretty awesome.
Thank you.
So can you tell us a little bit, what was it like working on Dead or Alive 5?
Awesome. Yes. I loved it. I mean, it's always good when they call you back, and they want you, it's one of those things where, as a freelance voice actor, when they call you and say, hey, we have a new recording for another game coming out, can you do it? You're like, yes, you still like me, It's kind of that gratification, and also it reestablishes the fact that they liked your work. And so, working on Dead or Alive 5 was awesome. I was very blessed, yes.
It's pretty awesome. That was a good game.
Thank you.
All right, so you have like a Facebook or a Twitter or any social media that you'd like to share with the fans?
Yes. I have a website, lisleweapon.com. And you can find actually my Facebook. It links to my Facebook and my Twitter, but you can also find me on Twitter at Lisle Weapon. And you can find me on Facebook as Lisle Weapon or Lisle Wilkerson. So, yeah.
Okay, so this has been Zach from the Ohio Guys here talking with Lisle Wilkerson. So, everyone have a great day. Peace.